Now maybe wait 2 minutes or so.
We can give it like 2 minutes to be fair, and then set it up.
Okay, let's give them a few minutes then.
Awesome. I think we can start now.
We can start, okay.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Thandazile Mkhize. I'm known as Thanda. I don't know what Emmanuel has told you about me, or should I just give a brief background?
Summary, a brief summary, please.
Okay, so I'm a data engineer in one of the media houses here in South Africa, but I've worked mainly in the financial sector for a couple of years. Started in the data space probably about 10 years ago as a BI developer when it was all starting out. So I've grown with the field, and we're still growing and still learning. So my main focus, the tool set that I've used mainly is the Microsoft base. So it's all your SQL servers, your SSIS and SSAS. I don't know how much you guys know about it. And then from a visualization point of view, Power BI has come into the play. I'm just gonna take you through Power BI in very high level, because it's a tool that you can also like go through the self-learning on your own, but also the time that I have today is not enough to take you through step by step. So I'll definitely go through high level. So let me just do a bit of a presentation. Can you guys see?
Not yet.
Now?
No, not yet, no.
Okay, let me...
Yeah, now we can see.
Okay, cool. All right, so just a bit of a journey for Power BI. So Microsoft has been in the data world for like the longest time, but they always focused on the databases, making them better, making them more efficient, so they could be used in the different big companies. They sort of slacked in the data visualization, which is where Power BI is playing now. It's competing with those tools like your ClickView, your Tableau, and many others. So when Microsoft decided to invest now in the visualization tool, initially it was based on Excel. I think their approach was everyone has Excel and everyone is familiar with Excel, so there's not gonna be any fear of a new tool. So they started building the Power BI functionality of the Excel tool, basically. So you could just open your Excel and then connect to different sources and then start building your dashboards from there. And then seeing that there was an uptake in that, they started pushing, they moved it off to the Power BI Desktop, which we are still even now using it. So the Power BI Desktop is actually a free tool that you download where you are able to, again, play and connect to different sources, join data from different systems and different sources. I'll take you through one or two of where you can connect the data to. And then now to operationalize that, you then have to publish it into your cloud space where you are able to share it with your people in your organization or outside if you want it to be available to the outside world. So that's a brief journey of where it is. So as far as I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Gartner Magic Quadrant. So this is where people who are, like, for instance, if you are looking for a tool, you go to this quadrant to see what different tools are there in that space or in that field, and which ones are the leaders, which ones are coming out, and so forth. So you can see Microsoft there is like leading, and this is only since I think Power BI started out probably 2015, so it's only like relatively new, but it has supersede all of its competitors. So your Tableau has been in this field for forever, for much longer, and ClickView for a long time was the market leader, but then it seems to be dropping. I think the advantage or what Microsoft is playing at is the fact that you don't need to. It has built the underlying data modeling tools. So Power BI is just plugs on top of that. So most of the people will have all the database or data warehouse design, and they're just basically needing a tool to view that data. Whereas for your Tableaus and stuff, they want you to pull the data into to Tableau and then start doing the data modeling in there, and obviously there's the cost to it as well. Power BI, you can actually do so much with the free version. It's only when you start wanting to share it amongst your team or whatever, then you need to consider buying a license. But even the licensing there, it's quite reasonable compared to its competitors. Okay, so that's just the background of Power BI. So now, this is what, are there any questions, by the way, or any comment?
I guess not.
All good. All right. So I'm just gonna take you through the Power BI environment. So in the Power BI environment, you have two areas. One is where you actually pull the data and then start modeling it. That's what this is where you transform the data. So you can get a data from an Excel and it's in a formats that you are not happy with. For instance, like say the name and the surname are separate and you want it to be actually one field, or you want to split it into a single field that come through as a surname, as a full name. You want to split it to title and surname and first name. So you are able to do that within the get data or the transformation area. And then there's also where you start now creating your measures. So say for instance your data has like the total sales, sales for individual products, but now you want to look at what was the sales in the previous year. So you can actually do your measures which are called year-on-year sales. So you are able to compare 2 years, and then there's the visualization side as well, and then you are able to share the data through to the workspace where it can be viewed by other people. So I'm just gonna come out of the slide. So to download Power BI, you literally just go to Google and search for Power BI Desktop, and then it takes you to the Microsoft Store where you are able to download the free one. Can you see the Power BI tool now?
Yeah, it's clear.
We can.
Okay, so yes, like I was saying, when you go to Google, you will be able to just follow the prompts or get to where you are able to download the. I don't know why it's blinking. You are able to download the Power BI Desktop. It's a free desktop. It's a free tool when you have it on your machine, and you like it's free forever. You don't have, like, for instance, I as a developer, I work with this. I downloaded this, and I only have to just update because they're always refreshing and adding new things to it. So it's not like a trial version or something like that. So for instance, for your small stuff, you can literally work on it and never be bothered by anyone. So for instance, when you're starting out, you want to get information, you want to get your data from the different sources. So there's a lot of sources that Power BI can connect to. So Excel is one of them. What I use mainly is SQL Server database. The main reason I use the database is because I work for we've built a data warehouse over the years in our world. So we have the data sitting in that space. We don't have to go now pull it from the different sources and then start cleaning it out. So that whole process of cleaning the data and modeling it into structures that are talking to each other it's actually a best to do it outside of these tools, because the tools that are built for that are more efficient to do that. And also you wanna be in a place where you are able to reload the data and build history and all of that. So that's why we will use SQL Server, but it connects to all other database systems, like your IBM's, your SAP HANA, which is I think Hadoop for big data. The SAP HANA, it's SAP version for big data. And then it also connects to a whole range of other sources like your Azure. So Azure, you can buy data off the market, or your company can post data in the Azure environment. So like Azure is the Microsoft cloud service. So it's like your AWS, but for Microsoft. And then, within the Azure, there's a lot of other ranges of data that you can pull. So as you can see, it's quite a And they keep growing this because there's always a new set of data or a new type of data that you need to be pulling, and they make sure that at least where the Power BI is also able to connect to those different datas. So for today, we're just gonna connect say to Excel, which is the easiest. And then you just point to where your Excel spreadsheet is. So you see here, it has a different tabs on that spreadsheet. So these are the different data sets that are sitting on that spreadsheet, and you are able to just pull that in. So for instance, if I say I want to pull the fact internet sales, you can preview the data here as to how it's coming through. So this is just a section of the data. It's like a subset of the data. It's not the full list when it's previewing here. And then say you want to also pull the actual product. So you can see here the data was built in some system and then extracted into Excel. So if we look at the fact sales, there's a product key here, which should tie with this product key here. So I mean, I can go back to how, like, this is how you will design your databases where, for instance, your product information, you don't want to store it within the transactional data, because the transactional data grows like it's always growing daily, whereas your product data, it's rarely where you add a new product or you change the product spec. So you will keep your product's information on the dim product, where it will just it's a table that contains all the attributes about the product. So the color, the actual name of the product, and so on and so forth. So we'll just take these two tables, for instance, and then you load them. So as I was saying, there's two areas of working in the Power BI. So you click edit on the table, and then it takes you. Can you see this screen that I'm in? Does it open the different screen? I don't know if it.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. So on this, this is the screen where you use mainly, you work a lot here if your data is dirty. What I mean by that way is the data, say for instance, you're getting from the internet and you want to massage it, you want to do whatever. So you work a lot in this query editor. So is the query editor the screen that you are seeing, guys?
Yes, we can.
That's the one, yeah? Okay. So for instance, you are able to split columns here if there's a column that you wanted. For instance, here you can say, I want the name. I actually want only the first three fields that are before, or like you want to split it where there's the first dash. You only want the data on the left of that, so you can do that here, and then you can say by delimiter if the delimiter is going to be the dash. So you can say the first dash in case there's further dashing. This happens a lot where I'll just use the names and surnames mainly. So say for instance, they on the source system they had saved it's Mr. Dash or Thandazile Mkhize, and you wanna take out the Mr. to be a title. So you will just say the first dash is what so I want I wanna split it on the first dash, and there's further splitting that you can do here, or options that you can apply. Doesn't seem to have done it. Wait. So whatever you do here, it actually comes and creates a what you call an M query, or a step. So you are able to say, oh, I actually made a mistake. Let me just remove it. I don't want that, whatever I did. Let me remove it. And then it goes back to where it was, to what it was. I think maybe I didn't select. Maybe let's say each occurrence. There we go. So it splits. You see how it separated the two fields. Then you are now with the original one. You would have lost, but if you want to also still keep, you have an option to keep the original field as well, or you can even duplicate the field. So this is just showing you there's different transformation that you can do on the. So for instance, in some fields, if there's an amount, it can come through with commas, and you don't want it to have commas. What you do then is you replace the field that way it finds the comma, either with an empty field or with a dot. For instance, if you want your numbers to have dots instead of commas for decimals. So that's the sort of transformation that you can do here. And then what you do is you click close and save, or close and apply. So what it takes you through is this other screen where you actually, this is where you design now your dashboard. So this is where you come in and I don't know why it keeps flicking. You build your views. So for instance, this data, like I was saying, you saw on the main on the fact. So this where there's like numbers and transaction, we call that a fact table, and then the dimension is the table that you will want to slice your data by. So you call this the dim product. So Power BI is able to also pick up relationships between two tables. You don't have to go and apply them. But if it doesn't pick it up, you are able to also come here and apply and decide, okay, this is the key that it should be joined to. They should be joined on. So if, for instance, you wanna make sure that it's joining on the right key, it will highlight it with gray, the field that it's connecting to. So this is applicable when you are working with the data that is already modeled. So like this one, for instance, like the product are sitting on their own, and the effect are sitting on their own, but you want to view them together. So if, for instance, we come here now, and so this is where now you start building. So the fields that come through from your source, Power BI is able to see that it's a number. So if it's a number, you will see it with this summation sign, and then if it's a date, it has this date sign as well. And the others which are text, it just leaves them like that. So say you want to pull in the order quantity. So it already picks up that it's a number, and the first default visual that it brings will be a bar chart. If you want to say now, I want to look at this by products class, you can either drag it to here on the graph itself, or you can pull it on here to say, okay, it's the axis that I want to I want the class to be on the x-axis. Then so if, for instance, I pull the class on its own here, you see those are the values that it has. So you can even change your view. So these are the different views that you have for your data. You can say, okay, I just want this to be like this, so I'm able to see the class that's bigger. Let's just find another slicer rather than class, because the class is a bit dull in a way. So you can replace it with color or take out color. So there's the order quantities by the different class. Or like if you saw that you can have multiple you can drill down on the dashboard, on the view. So what I'll do is I'll add the English name of the product under here. At first you don't see what it is, but when I click here, I can drill to the next level, and then these are the different. So if I go up, I was on the black, and then I drill to the next level. So these are the products that has the color black, basically. So you are able to drill up and down to see, okay, which one, for instance, when you look at the color, which products. So clearly they haven't defined a lot of their products by color. That's why there's an NA with the biggest number. So you can in fact go there to see, okay, these ones are not defined. And then you go and change your data for all of these. So you can export. So you can export your view, or you can show it to see as a table, for instance. For if you want to take it back to the business or to whoever to go and clean it up. So that's one of the views, and the good thing with this is you are able to actually just change to say I don't want it by, I want to change this, or I wanna have it as a stacked graph, for instance. If you wanna, a stack would be in a case where you wanna see it like how I had so let's take out because this is a bit big. So I had color. So let's say class and see. No, here, sorry, I had it on the. So you are now viewing it from both ends. So you are looking at it from a class as well as color. So you can see under the black color how many were in the so the purple one is null, or how many were in the low or medium or high. So you're getting more insight in terms of your data just by dragging the different attributes of the data. So what else you can do from a Power BI point of view is, if for instance you want to look at the data in a, or from a like the over the period. So you will see there's dates on this data. So end date. It's picking it up as a, just want to see what date is this. So another thing I wanted to show you, this date on this table is not very clean, hence it's not coming through as a date. I wanted to show you how also for instance, if I pull another set of data, I can still pull from the same table, and then say we wanna look at the SA population. So these are the different provinces we have in the country and the populations by the provinces. So if we load this, Power BI has a built-in mapping functionality where it's able to pick up that your data set is in a, it's actually a geographic data. So if for instance I start pulling province here, it immediately picks up that it's data that has to do with with the geographic, and it plots the different provinces that I have here. If you look at it from a table point of view, it comes through like this, but automatically it just picks up, oh, what type of data is this? You probably want to view it from a geographic point of view. And then if you start pulling them, let me just redo this. So as you can see, the dots are all the same size now because I haven't pulled the actual populations. So if I pull the number of people for the different provinces, then you'll see your balloons are sizes per the number of people in that province. So Johannesburg, for instance, is the biggest, and so forth and so on. So that's the great, because for instance, if you are working in across regions, then you can view your data to see, okay, which regions are doing better than the other ones, and act on that. So that's from a data point of So what you do from what I wanted to show you from a date point of view is that most of the time you wanna have a date table, but you don't always have it. But in you are able to create just a table by specifying the dates ranges that you want your table to have. So So you want to call this dim date. And then say it's starting from 2017-01 to 2018. So it's a 2-period year. That's all you do. And then just by doing that, then you have a dim date table. So if we go here, I just don't know why this thing is not showing me the data. Oh, there we go. So there is the data that I just on the fly created a list of dates. So I can then now start creating, for instance, I can say I want a new column on this table. So this, I forgot to mention the main part of this is DEX. So DEX is where now you create those measures that I was talking about. So as for instance, you can create a new column where I want to create a year, for instance, for this thing. So and then you just pass the date, then it will pick up which year it should be. Sorry. So it takes out the date value, and then it works out that it's this year. So you can create a year, and then you can create a month as well. So it gets as you can see, it changes the date. It has it as integer. There's a way of if you don't want it as an integer, you want it as a what you call. Let me just see if I can do it now. As a name instead of the 1 January and so forth. So there is most of the time. So when I work on this on DEX, you just go and Google how to do this, and then it pulls you the DEX, and then you play around with it until you get it right. So the good thing with this, then now when you're linking your data here, let's see. See, it's a bit too far. Just want to see what dates I have on this table. So on the design of the Power BI, there's basically these 3 areas. So this is where you do the view, so your graphs and everything. And here, this is where you explore your data as you have it on the dashboard. So for instance, I want to see the periods that I have here, so I can change my dates to align so that it can at least link up. So it seems like it has from 2005 to 2008. So I can then go to my dim date and change this to see it's changed. So it's actually, I think I had 2 years before, so now I will have all the way to 2008 just by changing these two parameters. And then what I want from here is a field that is actually a date, because So let's try order dates. I hope it's gonna link. So it links, you see, it picks up that it should link on the dates because they are both dates. So now you can come back here. I'll just take this out and say, I want to look at the year and I want to look at product quantities, what I was looking at earlier. Not team, sorry. It actually should be here. So you see, it's showing you the quantities by the year period. So that's how, I mean, it's you see how easy it is to drag. When you make a mistake, you are able to just correct it and redo and move the information around if you don't want it in this. Like you can change it to be something to be what you want to look at, the visual that you want. And there's so many other stuff that you can do with it. So for instance, you are looking at 2008, 2000, like for each year, what were the quantities, but then you can actually do a previous year. So for instance, to create a measure, let me just do one. So you say you want to look at year to date rather than the actual, or what should I do? So there's a lot of function that you can play around here. Calculate. Or the quantity. So this just gives you an aggregated value for the quantity. I didn't name it. So let's say total quantity. It has created my measure. So the ones that you create, you'll see it has a little calculator here to show it's a calculated value. It's not coming through from source. Then from over this, you are able to then create your year to date or month to date value. So for instance, if you don't want to look at it by what it is now, you want to see from the beginning of the year to now, what is the where are we at? Then you are able to just go create a new measure, call it year to date. Let me see if I can do that quickly. So these expressions are called DEX. So it's called DEX if you are the name of this language that you use within Power BI. It's basically was built off the your Excel expressions. They've just grown it to a whole different level. So you see, so this is total month to date. It's a function, like it even tells you that it calculates the measure for the beginning of the month to where you at, or then there's even for the total quantity to date or year to date. So let's just do year to date in our case. Then you can either calculate the sum of the quantity, but because I created that other measure earlier, I will just use that one where I said it was total quantity. You see, it's picking it up. Oh, sorry. So you want the total year to date quantity, and you want to look at this you must pass the dates now. So you go to your dim date. So let's look at this. Let me just put it in a more. So remember this one was just a normal quantity, but now if you want to look at how does it look, okay, I need to be in a month level for this to. Because I'm on a year level, and I guess it makes sense when you, for instance, if I had a 2020 data, and it's not like you can look at from Jan to July instead of the whole year. So so you see how it then, when you look at it from a month point of view, if you were in December, this is how much you made, but the whole of the year, this is where you were by the end of the. It's just like it's for tracking. It's tracking where you at in terms of your numbers or your target. Looking at it, what it is now compared to what it is for a period. Yeah, I think I've covered most of what I had planned to cover. I can take questions now, if there are any. Are people there? Hello?
There's still not any questions. I think it's still pretty quiet for now.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
So I'm not sure there are any questions that I'm seeing. No one's asking any questions on the chat.
Okay. So does it give you a high level understanding of what Power BI is about? It's a great tool when you are like starting out as well, because it's quite intuitive, and like I'm saying, you when you don't understand, you just go check on Google what's there around what you are wanting to do, and then it tells you. And yeah, you can start building nice dashboard, because then it start looking nice when you have multiple views. For instance, you can have this, and then you want to look at say you don't want to look at the order order quantity, you also want to look at the sales amount. So you pull another view here, and you want to look at it maybe say by territory. Or let's put something else which is not a number. Everything here is like a number because it's modeled data. So I would have had to pull so you want to look at it by model name. So this is now looking at the mountain bikes. With this you can say actually I want to have a filter on my data. I don't and then you just drag your filters here. Say for instance I want to look at just a particular year, and then you see the whole your whole dashboard should change. See, both views are changing by your selection on your filter. So you are able to filter your whole view by applying setting filters here, or you can have a filter on just the view itself or the report itself. So it becomes quite neat when you've built more of it, and it's a small canvas to work with. So you also have to be creative as to what you put here. You can, for instance, what we find very useful is business are normally like your stakeholders who are CEOs. They don't want to look at the data as is. They just want to see what's the number for today. So you can have it as a card as well. So okay, this is where we are on to date, for instance, or this is where we are today alone. Are we growing? Are we not? And you can even make a KPI, for instance, to say if it's less than this much, make it red. If it's bigger than this much, highlight it as a green type of thing. So yeah, that is Power BI, people, in a nutshell.
Awesome. Thank you, Thanda. If there are no questions from any of the learners, just guys have any questions, by the way? Just a last minute check. Okay, if there are no questions, then thank you for the presentation of the workshop. It was really, really informative, and we really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks, Maya, and thanks everyone. Good luck with your studies.
Thank you, Thanda.
All right. Cheers, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yeah, cheers.
Thank you, Chase.